Hello, everyone. I'm glad you're all freshened up by Phil's talk. So I'm going to talk to you very quickly about some of the entrepreneurship programs we're running in KAUST. And the aim is that I want you to look at the intention and the why behind why we've designed the programs the way we have. I don't want you to just look at the programs and their structure. I want you to understand why we've designed them, what principles we were thinking about, and kind of interpret that and see how that applies to your case. So let me just set the context a little bit. We're not in a tough neighborhood, but we are a bit isolated. We're in Thual, which is about an hour north of Jeddah, in the western region, right on the Red Sea. Very nice weather this time of year. And KAUST really stands for three major things. What makes us unique? One, we're very small. So when I talk about small, we are currently have a maximum capacity of 2,000 students. Right now we have 900 students. When I say students, these are graduate levels. So you're talking master's students, PhDs, postdocs, and above. The other is that we're focused. So you will have us, KAUST is King Abdullah University of Science and Technology. So we're focused on science and technology. We have no business school, no arts, no taste, no literature. So you'll notice that people in KAUST are very specialized. Now this is both an advantage and a disadvantage. It means both of these points mean that we have to, in our DNA, be very collaborative, or our environment will become limited. People won't be exposed to lots of new ideas. Everyone will be in their small little hidey hole of technology. Now, the last thing is we're incredibly diverse. So when you're talking about KAUST, we're talking about over 100 different nationalities coming from all over the world with a variety of backgrounds that can give you some very robust ideas, very interesting concepts and innovation coming from this melting pot of creative technologists that are being empowered to kind of launch their own projects. So with that said, now you have the idea of the context of how we're designing. We have a unique situation somewhat, and we're building our own capacity to serve this environment. So in order to serve the immediate environment, people within KAUST and the immediate region around it, we've built the programs I'm about to describe. And most of this capacity is in-house. We're doing everything with a team that you see here today, 2 others in Jeddah, and a select group of international mentors that we leverage. So it's simple, right? You only have to convince someone who came halfway across the world to do his PhD, to drop everything and start a company in a country he's never been in before. Simple, very easy. Now, we start with having several tiers of commitment in our programs. We have entry-level, enthusiast, and professional. So we'll have low commitment programs. One evening, you don't have to commit much. There's no team, there's no formation of no application form, just show up. And that kind of speaks to Phil's point about having numerous events running throughout the year. So our core really is what we call New Venture School. These are evening graduate level courses in a variety of topics. These are open for free. We get guests from all over, people driving from Yanbu, from Al-Qura, from King Abdulaziz, from the KAUST community, and it's been a nice melting pot. Now, the real reason that we run these is not to teach classes. It's actually, we have a bit of a hidden agenda, and it's really 3 major points. One is that it gives us a way to build teams. You don't have these individuals isolated talking about their ideas. They're all coming to these classes because they're interested in these subjects. So suddenly, from an individual, he talks to the person next to him about his idea, you have a team, you're starting to build some capacity there. The second point is it gives you an avenue to create a real community. A lot of us like to, it's easy to create a Facebook page, a WhatsApp group or something, to create a community around your center. But you really need to layer it. You need to say that this is important enough for us to regularly meet. And your core, the people that come to most of the classes, the regulars, will start to form a tight-knit bond. And that will form the core of your community. And I can't stress enough how important this is to have a real thriving ecosystem, especially in a community as isolated as ours, where we need to grow it as much as possible. The third point is a bit more selfish. So it's a wonderful testing ground for material. So if we're developing a new lecture, a new course, something that we want to try out, we want to do with a select group, we could limit the tickets, get a select group of people, try out the material, see what they like, what they understand, and then roll that out in our more bigger, more extensive programs. So I'm going to take you inside a quick 30 seconds inside one of our classes on pitching that was taught by this gentleman right there. Oh, audio.
Pitching is all about
IT. Audio. We checked it this morning. It's not working. Okay. Well, no worries, tech support. But yeah, if you were to hear it, it would be a very impassioned plea by Gordon McConnell focusing on the why of the pitch.
Who is your audience? And just think about how your message sounds. When you see pitches, a lot of people will say what I do, and they'll say, how do I do it? But often they leave out the key one. Why do I care? What will it mean to me, my friends, my country, my planet, my environment? That means you win the audience straight away or you lose them straight away.
Ooh, there we go. Really? You're that excited to hear about Gordon's lecture? Fine.
Really, pitching is all about storytelling. That's really what you're doing. So one of the things you need to understand is, who are you pitching to? Who is your audience? And just think about how your message sounds. When you see pitches, a lot of people will say what I do, and they'll say, how do I do it? But often they leave out the key one. Why do I care? What will it mean to me, my friends, my country, my planet, my environment? That means you win the audience straight away or you lose them straight away.
Now, in addition to that, we're also working out on rolling out elective courses in our program so we can get in the classroom in front of all of the students in KAUST to make sure that it's more robust, more regimented. We'll also have a guest speaker series where we frequently invite guests from all over that share their experiences so that we're exposed to new ideas and business models. We actually have a speaker series next week from Dr. Frieder, who's got his spin-off from Germany. So February 2nd, if any of you is interested. I checked this morning, there are 16 seats remaining, so please book. Now, after you finish the baseline level of just coming in, attending these short courses, we also have what we call simulations. So these are the next level up. So these are week-long programs, 3 days, that are meant to kind of simulate the experience of being in a startup, expose you to a bunch of different methodologies. So Iced in the Desert was actually ran 2 weeks ago by Gordon, Amal, and a group of our international mentors. And it's to expose people to different ways of thinking around innovation, design thinking, creativity, entrepreneurship, really the skills of the 21st century from a variety of different perspectives. And it's all cases, tools that they have to apply. And beyond that, we also have 3-day lean. Now, 3-day lean is a little bit different. Iced, you come in, you don't need to have an idea, you just have to come with a willingness to push the boundaries and experiment. We're Iced in the Desert, where we simulate what life in a startup feels like. The chaos, the uncertainty of being a startup founder. So we'll work with teams as they come in, they work on their ideas intensely, validating their business model, making sure it makes sense, working through the nuance over 3 intensive days. And at the end of it, they get to pitch to a panel of judges. It's not quite the same, but it gives them a real taste of what the experience is like. And this is new. This is still pending. In a few months, we're going to launch STEAM. This is our Innovation Design Challenge. With a partner institution, we're going to define a challenge. And teams of students from KAUST and other neighboring universities will come in and propose solutions to these challenges. And the most thoughtfully created, rational solution that solves the problem will be chosen, and they'll be winners. This is important because not everyone sees themselves as an entrepreneur. Not everyone thinks I'm an entrepreneur and looks out in the media for things that are related to them. This focuses the discussion on the challenge, on fixing a problem. The advantage is that entrepreneurship has become an end goal for some people, but this focuses it on the problem, where entrepreneurship can become a path to solving that. Now, beyond these programs, really, is the accelerator. Now, if you come into the accelerator, there is no misunderstanding. You are coming in to start a company. You're coming in to start a business. There's no one who's coming in to learn, to see. The reason we set all these different stages, all these different programs, so the discussion in the accelerator is focused. People understand that there's a serious commitment involved with joining an accelerator. And they're run through all the methodologies, the cutting edge, whether it's a business model, whether it's design thinking, whether it's TechNav. So we'll work with a variety of startup entrepreneurs as they progress through their journey. Now, we're experimenting with something a little bit different. We started this last year, where we launched a new program called Hikmah, especially for technology entrepreneurs. And when we say technology, we mean intellectual property, not a website or mobile app. That is technology, but in the Kaus sense, it is intellectual property where there is actual technology risk associated. So we launched Hikmah, and participants through Hikmah will have a somewhat different program because we'll be focusing on some of the unique challenges that are only applicable to them. Things like commercialization, protection, strategy, freedom to operate. We'll talk about these things and how they can protect it because research-driven startups also have a slightly different life cycle. So this is a more customized approach that we're still experimenting. All of this is a snapshot. So we have 2 accelerators, one open accelerator, one Hikmah intellectual property accelerator. And for Hikmah, we've actually developed a tool. Yesterday, TRL was actually very briefly mentioned. Technology readiness level is indeed critical. It's a very important tool. It helps people understand where they are on the technology readiness level. Now, our only issue with TRL is it doesn't give you what to do. It tells you where you are, but it's not quite as actionable. So we've developed our own piece of intellectual property we call TechNav. TechNav is a very simplified, kind of gamified tool that can walk you through the commercialization process, starting right from proof of concept, right down to access to market. So from TRL 3 down all the way to TRL 9. So you get a sense of exactly what it would take because almost every researcher overestimates how quickly they can get to market. It works in the lab, that's it. I should be ready to sell it. They don't realize the testing, the time, the money that's required to actually get something ready to the market. So this kind of helps them understand that. And it comes with a packet of cards like you see on the side, kind of like Saudi Deal, for those of you that still play that. And these cards all have important questions that they need to understand which phase they're in. Are they in the component stage? Are they in the pilot stage? Are they in the prototype stage? Who should they partner with? How long does it test? And all of this is highly subjective, and it depends on their industry. Are they in the aerospace? Are they in defense? Are they in material? Are they in biomed? So the tool is highly adaptive. We've licensed this under a Creative Commons license. We're actually sharing this with some other university. I think it was Delft, right, that asked for this. So Delft is actually taking TechNav and implementing that in their own incubator and accelerator. So we're happy that intellectual property developed in Saudi Arabia is being utilized elsewhere, and we hope that we continue to develop models like this that are helpful to people. So the accelerator is launching very soon. We're going to have the new batch. This is the latest batch. And not all of them are core tech, but from this slide, you can get a sense of the diversity of technology that we're working with. You have to deal with startups from visual experience all the way to water desalination, so we have to be highly flexible. But it's really gratifying, and it gives you a chance to look at these discrete opportunities and technologies right one after another. Very proud of the fact that they won the Forbes list. 3 of our startups are on the top 10. And 2 others are also mentioned on the list. So we're helping cheer them on. We were also named as a promising incubator by UBI, University Business Index, that's creating a new index for MENA. Now, this is a request for all of you. Please take us off the list. Please submit your information, upload it to University Business Index. Make sure that all of your incubator's metrics are up there. This will not only make the industry more transparent.
Rahman, you have 2 minutes.
Okay, I'll be very quick. But it will make sure that we all understand where we are. We have a baseline, we have a benchmark. And you can show that you're doing a lot better than we are. So you'll see a lot of programs. And this is intended because in the venture industry, we like to use growth words that are organic. Like we talk about growth, we talk about seed. But oftentimes, our processes look more like assembly lines. One size fits all. Everyone has to go through this one same funnel. So that's why we have a variety. People come in from different, entry points and go out through different entry points. They don't have to start a startup. These skills are important for everyone, whether you're an employee, whether you're being entrepreneurial in your company, in your daily life, or you decide to start a startup eventually. It's all considered a success to us. So that's my key message at the end here, is I'd like you to think about entrepreneurship beyond just entrepreneurs. We talk about seeing a market, segmenting a market. Well, who is underserved? Instead of just focusing on people who self-identify as entrepreneurs, we need to look beyond. We need to hit early, as Philip said, and we're hitting a little bit earlier. We're working with the KAUST school for now and talking to other schools. This is actually a short program we did for 4th graders. We also did a program for 8th graders, 9th graders. This is just us trying to see what works, what doesn't, how we can be of benefit. Another segment that's a little bit far off the spectrum from schools is working with corporates. So we developed an in-house training program called Revelate. Revelate is here to help companies be more innovative. We've actually had some companies apply to the accelerator previously, and we thought we could develop something specifically for them. And Rev gives them a chance to take innovation within a company faster than the life cycle. So they'll work on entrepreneurship, on how they can develop new products, new services, keep improving, how the company can become more entrepreneurial. This is still important. New products, new services, better quality will change the lives of people. And you'll get people in companies that nothing can go wrong. Either they'll try and improve their company, they'll fail, and they'll decide to leave their company and start a startup. They'll come back to us. Or they'll improve things for all of us, create new divisions, keep growing. Short video.
Great presentation, Abdurrahman.
My boss is Irish, so I take from him. So.
To do that. So now I will start off by asking Q&A to the panelists, and then I will open it to the floor, to the audience, to ask a direct question for any of our distinguished panelists. First of all, I will start with you, Tuba. Can you please tell us Qutuf business model and how you are self-sustainable? And then I want you to talk a little bit about, if possible, some major challenges in the private sector in developing entrepreneurial programs. That's 2 questions, Tuba.
Did you just give me 2 days' time instead of 2 minutes? Okay,
right.
Tough questions. First off, Qutuf business model. We wanted to make sure Qutuf is a foundation, okay, شركة وقفية. Unless you have been through the Ministry of Commerce regulations, you may not be aware. In Saudi, you cannot find an MPO as a company. It is a dilemma. We did not want to be under Ministry of Social Affairs because we don't want people to think entrepreneurship has anything to do with charity, especially technology entrepreneurship. It's a commercial product to diversify the economy, and it has to be sustainable, as dear brother Abdul Mohsen said. And in that, we established Qutuf as an LLC that will oversee as a holding group all these small seed investments we will make. Qutuf model is very simple. We do 7 different pillars of initiatives. In those pillars, we have everything from startup awareness competitions to the seed accelerator and seed funds and actual commercialization of companies. We've so far in 23 months have graduated 27 technology companies, which will reach hopefully 31 by end of June. And 65% of those companies have achieved follow-on investments. And that's where the sustainability comes from. As an accelerator, and there has to be a definition of what is an accelerator. Ours is not a mentor-led program. We have great mentors, and mentors have to communicate with the entrepreneurs and have to dedicate no less than 18 hours a month. And we make sure we assign 5 mentors per team from different specialties and background. And they have to make sure that this company is legally established. It's a legally binding process made with a founding Saudi team. The team is what makes the company sustainable, and it's what makes the trust of the investors in that company, which makes us in return sustainable. The model itself is very intriguing towards the investors. There are many investors who say they invest. They've just announced funds of over hundreds of millions. But none of them actually take the risk of investing in the seed stage. Very few that do actually make the seed stage investment due diligence close to that as if it's a venture capital or a private equity due diligence. So it takes time. We spent close to 19 months educating our investors on how simple the term sheets have to be, how simple the terms have to be, and we gave them trust. We said, look, we're not going to take the investment from you in one go. We're going to take it from you in hurdles. Every time the entrepreneur or the company achieves a result that they said they would in their business plan, you'll get to pay up the next batch of money. And this is how we incorporate a company over and over again over a period of 18 months till they finish getting all their investments. And two things that we face as a problem, or a challenge rather, we don't have problems, we always have challenges that we work around, is the factor of diversity. It is extremely crucial in tech startups to be as diversified as possible, because the person with the idea may not necessarily have the necessary skill set for execution of the idea. So we found out that there is this major problem with co-founder teams. If we want 100% Saudization, it's not achievable in majority of the startups. So we are now advocating for 51% ownership by Saudi and 49% by a resident foreigner. Foreigners should be allowed shares in companies. So that's the first challenge that we have that we're working around solving. The second issue that we faced is the startup's mentality that the angel has given them the money, that's it. He should stay out of their business for 18 months and let them do whatever they want, and it's none of his business. And this communication between the investor and the entrepreneur, there's usually fights and issues, not in all of them, but it's becoming a redundancy after 6 months of a startup's life. This begins. So we have set up programs around those. And I have to say this.